Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Lewis Speaks 2022, and today I want to talk to you all on the topic of slumming. What exactly is slumming? It's when people know that you're not the person that they want to be with, but yet and still they'll spend some time with you just until the person that they want comes along. And there are so many people in relationships nowadays who are slumming and who are also just being strung along, made to feel like they're the one, when in actuality, the people that they're with are just with them until something better comes along. And I think a lot of us have been on both ends of this spectrum. We have been the one slumming, and we also have been the slummy, the one that has been strung along. And I know that person from personal experience, being the one who was strung along and made to believe that there was a future, it's hurtful. It's definitely hurtful, especially when you're investing and pouring into a relationship or a friendship. And lo and behold, you realize that the person was never really into you. They were just with you until something better came along, in terms of friendships, until their tribe came along. I know a lot of people, they entertain friendships because they don't want to be alone. And it's really a matter of the lesser of two evils. They don't want to be alone, but yet and still they don't really want the person that they're entertaining. So they just choose which is which, and they choose to just be with someone just in the meantime, just until what they want manifests. And this is awful, but I know that many of us have been on the receiving end of this, and it's important. It's really important that you make sure that the person that you're investing in really wants to be with you and is not just with you in the meantime until their tribe comes along, until their soulmate or twin flame comes along. And so how to do that, how to know if this person is just slumming with you. You know, ask yourself, do they make any real investments in you in terms of time, energy, and resources? Are they generous with their time, their energy, or their resources? Or do you find that they're only giving you the dregs, the crumbs, spending maybe a couple of stolen moments with you? If you find that this is the case, they're probably slumming with you. Another indicator is if they are willing to make long-term plans with you, future plans. Like, do they want to go on vacations with you? Do they want to plan trips and outings with you? If they don't make any future plans, chances are they're slumming with you, and you're getting strung along. Additionally, have they made any sacrifices to be with you? I realized something really important, and I want y'all to listen to this because this right here is golden wisdom. If a person has not sacrificed anything to be with you, chances are they're not going to value you, because people are loyal to the things that they sacrifice. If not you, they'll be loyal to what they gave up to be with you. Some think of this as love. Well, I gave up this in order to be with this person. I must be in love, or I must love this person. And so you have to make sure that people are sacrificing something in order to be with you. Because if they're not, they really don't value you. Because people are loyal to what they sacrifice. Point blank. I think about people that are going to school trying to get their degree. They're loyal to their careers. They're loyal to their pursuit. They're loyal to showing up on classes, showing up on time for classes because they want that degree. They're loyal to the chase. They're loyal to the grind because the grind is giving them something. And so you have to make sure that these people are working for you and they're sacrificing their time, their energy, their resources, something to prove to you that they value you, because people are all about this these days. They're all about talk, 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 talk. Always selling you dreams, selling you all these fantasies. No. What are they doing in real time to show you that they really are invested in you? It's just that simple. And personally, I learned that it's very necessary to make people earn you. Because when people have not worked to earn you, they don't value you. I think about people getting up in the morning, going to work. Why? Because they value work, it pays them. They feel like there's a reward for showing up. Now, you could tell if someone is just slumming it with you, if they're not showing up, if they're not consistent, they really don't value you. And it's just that simple. I wish I would have known all this when I was like in my 20s. I really do, because if I knew this, I would not have wasted my time with a lot of people. I would not have invested so much into a lot of these dying friendships and relationships. I wouldn't have bothered. But experience sometimes is the best teacher, and I've experienced a lot of this. I've been on both, as I mentioned earlier, both ends. I was slumming with people because there were times when I just didn't want to be alone. I felt that to be alone was dangerous. I felt that it made me a target. I felt that other people would see that I was alone and they would want to exploit me. And so I used this other person as a shield, as a covering, something to insulate me against feelings of loneliness. Also, something to protect me from the attacks of other people, So for me, it was a protective measure. But it was nonetheless hurtful, because I knew that I was not really into some of the people that I was engaging with. But yet and still, I continued to engage because, as I mentioned before, it staved off feelings of loneliness. And so I get it. But going forward, I don't want to be that person that is used as a just in the meantime, a placeholder, as they say. I don't want to be a placeholder just until what they really want comes to fruition. And so, like I said before, you have to pay attention. You have to see exactly what the person is sacrificing. You have to see how much they're investing in you. Are they making any real investments? Or are they just throwing you crumbs, expecting the whole cake from you? Because that's another tactic that people try. They try to give you just crumbs, morsels, specks of attention, of time, of investment, and they're exacting so much. And so my thing is this: if the output is not commensurate with the input, then we're not rocking. We're not rocking. If what I'm giving is not equal or greater than what I'm receiving, well, then we need to reevaluate, because that's how you become emotionally bankrupt. That's how you become bitter. When you start making so many sacrifices and the other person is making either small or no sacrifice, then you get angry because it's not matching. If you can't match, like I said, if you can't match or exceed what I bring to the table, well, then we're not going to eat together, because I'm not going to do it all. I'm not going to sit up there and be the one that they use to get strong and then take all my investments and bring it to the next person in the next friendship or relationship. Oh no. And this is why, I have a big problem with this concept of ride or die. Ride or die. What I've learned, this is the most salient lesson that I've learned in 2022, is that when you're a ride or die, you just die. That's it. I was thinking about in 1990, they had a lot of women, holding their men down in jail, sending them commissary, being the ride or die chick, making sure that they were on time for those conjugals, making sure that they took that long bus ride over to these different facilities. And then, while they were doing all this, these men in jail were having a harem of other women doing the same thing, or they were getting pegged voluntarily by dudes up in prison. So when these dudes got out and they went back to these women, they infected these women with HIV/AIDS, and it's just, these women were dead. These women were dead. They were a ride or die, and what did it get them? Nothing but a death sentence. So then I realized something, that, you know something? Being a ride or die, you just die. I've been a ride or die for a lot of people. And some were worth it. Some reciprocated and showed that they were definitely invested. Other people, they took my investments and they ran. And so what I learned is that, you know something? Nah, you have to make sure that people are matching or exceeding what you bring to the table. And if they're not, they gotta leave. They have to go. It's just that simple. Is it hurtful? Is it painful sometimes? Yes, it is. But you know what's even more painful? What's even more painful is investing in people and spending years, chunks out of your life investing in people, only to find out that you were the one that they were slumming with. You were not really what they wanted. They were just settling for you. You were just in the meantime. You were a second-class citizen in their eyes. You know? How many people out here were ever treated like an afterthought? By a show of hands. How many people out there were treated like persona non grata, an unwelcome person? How many people out there were basically just treated like in the meantime, like a placeholder? There are a lot of us that were treated that way, and we learn. The beautiful thing and the gift of all these experiences is that we learn. We learn what we did right, and we learn what we did that was not so right. And so we do better. We do better. We take those errors that we made, those misjudgments, those miscalculations, and we begin to reconfigure. And we begin to reconfigure the math in a way that we are the quotient, we are the sum. And when you think of it in terms of that, you know, that you are the quotient, you are the sum, you are the difference. After everybody is gone, after everybody decides that they no longer want you or no longer wants to be in your life, you are what is left. Knowing that, you gotta make different choices. You gotta stop slumming. You gotta stop letting people treat you like a second-class citizen. If they are not making consistent investments in you, and I mean consistent investments, and I'm not talking about penetration, coming over to your house for a booty call. I'm not talking about late night creeps. I'm not talking about, you know something, oh, what you doing? What you doing? I'm talking about taking you out. I'm talking about making your home beautiful, fixing up your home. I'm talking about planning with you trips. I'm talking about making sure that you look good. Do you look good with these people? Or do you look drained, tired, listless? Sign of a quality relationship is how not only it makes you feel, but how does it make you look? Are you full? Are you happy? Are you content? Or are you just beat up? I see so many men and so many women in relationships, they look beat up. It's like these relationships drag them across a bed of nails. And is it worth it? It never is. So my thing is this. Long story short, stop allowing people to slum it with you. You know, if they're not willing to put in the work, And if they don't see you as somebody who is worth the work, that's okay. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. But it behooves you to take the necessary steps to protect yourself from such behavior. It behooves you to value yourself enough to walk away from a place where there is no reciprocity, there's no love. That's how you demonstrate that you love yourself. How do I know I love myself? Answer, I know I love myself because I'm not willing to tolerate abuse from anyone else. I encourage you to also do the same thing. I hope this video was helpful. Definitely like, share, subscribe. I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful day. Peace, y'all.